All right, so this is how I made $1,082 today trading on ES. And we did go higher. Interesting. All right, so basically going in today, if you see my last video, I was bearish originally just because London session got some manipulation here. Same thing, all this moves up. We have all these lows here, and it looked easier to get all these lows than to go all the way up for these draws. But we ended up doing that. We ended up going all the way up for all of these. I decided to be bull. It was kind of in between my biases, but what made me basically bullish was the fact that we had an SMT. ES did not sweep London lows, or New York lows, I should say. NASDAQ did, because this was the low right here, and it swept down. After that point, I was looking for shorts because we also swept the highs. But what we did get is it did not want to retrace very much. You could see that the first couple candles were pretty big up candles, and on the down candles, we barely got anything. So that's kind of a sign that it wants to be bullish and it barely wants to retrace. So we didn't get any retrace on ES, but on NASDAQ, because it's a more bearish pair because it got the sweep to the downside, we actually got somewhat of a retrace. We got equilibrium on the 5-minute. Not great because I wanted to see like this full equilibrium get hit and this fair value gap. But we did get a 15-minute fair value gap, which was right here. So we tapped into that 15-minute fair value gap. So I took that as basically as my 5-minute fair value gap instead, which ES did not. So even another bullish SMT from that. So looking pretty bullish. So that's what basically convinced me that we're going bullish. And then at that point, we got the retrace. We're just looking for a 1-minute break of structure. And I entered here because I thought this was the break, even though we actually broke here. So we would have got a better risk reward today if I would have paid attention. I was paying more attention to NASDAQ, so I didn't even realize I were already bullish at this point when I was looking at it about here. So I had to wait for this candle, and then the second 1-minute low is where I put my stop. So we got about 1 to 6, 1 to 1.6, I mean, on take profit 1. And we took out 2/3 of the position there just because I wasn't super confident in the trade, and I wasn't sure if, like, because NASDAQ is just, there's no draws that it's really going for. It's just kind of going for the fair value gap that it was up, like, basically in this range. This draw wasn't here. So everything up here is basically just fair value gap territory. So it could reverse at any moment once it fills enough orders. So I wasn't totally sure what would be happening here. So we took out 2 of my 3 contracts here and then stopped to break even. And then at that point, we continued up and we did hit take profit 2, which was even much better risk reward, 4.61 at take profit 2 with only 1 contract. So we only made about 2.6 R on the day. It could have been a lot higher. Like if it was my normal, if I got my normal like 5-minute retrace kind of set up, and if I felt more confident in the bullish structure, I would have, because we even de-risked today, so we only went with 400 risk. So I would have made a lot more. We probably would have made up to like $2,000 today if I would have had all my typical things set in place. And I would have had 1 contract here and then 2 up here. Well, actually, I would have had 1 here and then 1 here, which all would have been hit. And this would have been a 5.4 R. But I'm not saying that to dwell on what I missed out on. I'm just saying my reasoning behind why it's a lower day today. I am very happy with the day. We are, with that losing streak that we had, we're back to break even on the month. So starting basically from scratch on the month, which is totally fine with me. We still got 2.5 weeks, I'm pretty sure, left in the month that we can trade. Yep, so 2.5 weeks. So plenty of time to make some decent profit this month. Going in, because we're de-risked for the last 3 wins, which is pretty unfortunate that we took the 4 losses full risk and then we took the 3 wins on de-risk. But I mean, that's whatever. We're back to where we need to be. So, I mean, I can't be worried about what I missed out on. It gave me more, I think I also traded better just because I had more mental headspace, more drawdown, more room. So it wasn't as tight, it wasn't as stressful. So that could be partially why I hit the last couple trades, is just because I was more focused with less worry about that risk. So we're actually up 2.6R on the month. My goal was 8R, and I'm sure we'll hit that with the 2.5 weeks left. So we would be technically up $2,600 on the month if we're at full risk, but we're at break even instead. So, I mean, that's fine with me. We're going to be going back to full risk now. Next, we'll see what the next trading days look like. I want it to be like a prime setup for me to go back to full risk because we have 3 wins in a row. So I'm expecting a loss at some point. So I don't want to start that full risk off with a loss. So if it's kind of an iffy trade, we'll be somewhere in the middle, probably 500 to 700 risk. And then we'll go full 1,000 at a good solid trade if we get the right setup. So it was a pretty good day. I was very close to re-entering on this trade with extra risk here. So I could have had almost a full risk trade if I would have got the re-entry. So we're kind of coming down, and on NASDAQ, we came all the way down here. So this is like 15-minute low, and we came all the way down and swept it on NASDAQ. We almost broke under it, but we didn't. And on ES, obviously, it didn't go all the way down. We're kind of in this 5-minute equilibrium area right here. And then we also inverse this for value gap. So I was very close to re-entering with some extra risk. But by the time this went up, I wanted my stop to be, so I would have had to enter here because that's when the 5-minute candle closed. And then I was kind of looking for my stop to be under these lows just because it's a good solid spot. And with that, my risk reward was only 1.4. So I didn't love that. I could have definitely had it the second 1-minute low, but the fair value gap was right here. So I was assuming this might get tapped into. So I didn't want to be too close to that. We could have definitely hit that and had an extra 2.4R today, but we did not. I was looking after I skipped that idea, I was like, okay, if we come down to equilibrium range, which is also this inverse fair value gap, also mixed with a fair value gap, would have been like a prime retracement entry. It did not end up doing that, just kept going up. If we would have got that, I mean, we could have got the 2.5 to 3R again as well. But I'm totally fine with getting what I had today. It would have been a later trade after 10 o'clock, which is not my typical time. So it's totally fine with me making what we did. But I mean, pretty solid trades today. Nice to have a good full like risk reward trade. We haven't had one this month. The last 2 were at like around 1 to 1.5R. So very happy to see a full 2.4 or 2.6R trade back. So pretty good day. From here out, we actually have to work tonight. Unfortunately, go make like less than a quarter of what I made in an hour of trading today after a 6-hour shift. So that's pretty unfortunate, pretty depressing. But we're gonna go do that and hit the gym and probably back test as well. So that's the plan for today. Hope you guys do something to get 1% better, become better at whatever you're working on, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.